Hey everyone, welcome to Spooky Appalachia. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Phil.
This week we have a pretty awesome story from a fan named Cheesebot Doom Ken from California, where he had an encounter with a blood-covered spirit that he said happened to him in the early 2000s.
I don't remember exactly where in Long Beach the apartment was because I only went to it twice. The second time only because my dad needed someone to dog sit while he was away on business. The first time I went was just after he had rented the place before he actually finished moving himself, his partner, and the dogs in, so I could get his mail for him. When I was sitting in the dining room looking through the kitchen to the empty doorway to the little laundry room, I started getting real uncomfortable. So I looked away to see if I could see anything out of the front room that would explain it. And when I looked back, there was a bloody woman in a torn up white shift or sleeping dress based on how loosely it hung, with cuts on her arms and bloody knuckles and hands and blood all over the dress, hanging by a rope in the doorway to the laundry room. Scared me so badly, but more than that, filled me with an overwhelming sense of sadness and depression. I almost started crying. It spooked me enough that I tried to forget it, so I never took the time to look up if anything had happened there to explain it. The other time I went a couple years later, I got drunk the couple nights I had to stay there, so I don't exactly remember how uncomfortable it may have made me. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
I also Oh, it's Cheese Bot of Doom, like Cheese Bot
Cheesebot
O
Doom.
Doom. Okay, that sorry, that's off topic, but I'd been looking at that like a couple of times while we were prepping the story. Like, what's the screen name? No, that's wild.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know that like I would have gone back a second time if I'd seen something like that. I'd been like, "Yeah, I'll bring the dogs to my place. That's all
Uh,
good."
I wonder if
Like,
he got drunk on purpose because he knew he was gonna be there and that happened that last time?
that was the impression I got from the story,
Yeah.
was he just like tried to black himself out while he was there.
I mean, can't say I blame him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's man.
Dangling by a rope in the doorway.
Yeah. That's a wild one.
Ah,
B I kind of wish she remembered where it was. It would be cool to like look and see if there was any sort of like history to the apartment or anything.
mhm.
Cause like I don't know, I feel like yeah, like shift or sleeping dress. Like he almost made it sound kind of like old timey, right?
Mhm.
Like in terms of what she was
Yeah, but
wearing.
possible that the apartments were built on top of something.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Or just
usually
like
are.
older apartments. Like I
Yeah.
lived in when I first moved to St. Louis a few years back, I lived in a apartment building that was like old condos for the World's Fair from like the early 1900s that had been converted. It looked, if you've
Mhm.
ever seen Angel, like that hotel they have, like the
Yeah.
interior kind of looked like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I could definitely buy like older apartments too. The Patrick Henry Hotel in downtown Roanoke's that too now. It's condos now. They took like an old hotel and turned it
Well,
into
that's a place I've heard that was haunted too.
now that you mention it, I think you're right. Yeah. Which yeah, I'm not surprised because that was like the I mean, I guess the Hotel Roanoke was kind of like probably contemporaneous, but as far as like the big older hotels in Roanoke go, it's really those two. So
Mhm.
sure, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened there over the years.
Oh, yeah, I've heard from both of them.
Yeah, it's do you want your hoity-toity Victorian ghosts or your working class Victorian ghosts?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a cool
I
story, Cheese Bada Doom. Thanks for sending it in. And I'm glad I figured out halfway through how we were meant to pronounce
Sorry about
that.
that. And then if you've got a story that you would like for us to feature on here, you can send it in to us through our Google form. there will be a link in the description on YouTube. And for you podcasters and website fans, you can go through the link tree. And thanks to our Patreons, Alvin, Charles, Danielle, Donald, Jeff, Jordan, Julia, Linda, Shannon, Taylor, and the Werewolf Radar podcast. Be sure to check them out, guys. They do some great stuff.
They do. And take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.